Am I the asshole here for telling my mum that I won't take care of her when she's old after she abandoned me as a kid? I, 29 female, was raised by my dad after my mum walked out on us when I was 6. She left to find herself and started a new family with another man. She barely kept in touch. No birthdays, no holidays, not even a call when I graduated college. So for most of my life, I accepted that she didn't want to be my mum and I moved on. Fast forward to a few months ago, out of nowhere, she reached out. At first I thought maybe she wanted to reconnect and apologize for the past, but no. She told me she was struggling financially, her health wasn't great, and she needed someone to step up and take care of her. Apparently, her husband left and her other kids weren't in a position to help. I told her flat out no. I wasn't going to play caretaker for someone who abandoned me when I needed her. I reminded her that she made her choice years ago and that I don't owe her anything. She got mad and started crying, saying, "But I'm still your mother. You can't just throw me away like I'm nothing." I don't feel guilty. She made her bed and now she has to lie in it. But part of me wonders if I really am being too harsh. Am I the asshole here for refusing to take care of the one who abandoned me, even though she is my mother and we share the same blood? In the comments, Long Jumping Owl asks, "Why are you even talking to her if she abandoned you as a kid?" And OP says, "I really thought that she would reconcile with me, but it seems like she just contacted me because she needed something." Dog Poundma says, "Not the asshole. You don't owe her anything. She made her bed, time to sleep in it." OP says, "I was willing to forgive her, but there was a darker picture behind why she wants to reconnect with me." I'm with OP on this one. She says I need someone to step up, but it's funny. OP needed someone to step up when she was a kid. Oh, you can't throw me away like I'm nothing? Like, she threw OP away for a new family? Interesting that these narcissists that, turn their back on everyone else are surprised when those same people turn their back on them when they're old and dying. There's a reason that we get a lot of nursing home staff come in and be like, yeah, you can spot the ones that are going to have no one showing up for them when they're in the nursing home. For good reason. OP's mum is one of them, and you're not the asshole here for telling her that you won't take care of her. She doesn't deserve it, she doesn't deserve you, OP, and you are so much better off without her. And now, onto the update. It's been a day since I posted here, and I'm very thankful to all of you who shared their thoughts on it. I just wanted to share what happened in the past 24 hours. She was still blowing up my phone with guilt trips, telling me that I was heartless, and that she did the best she could. When I didn't respond, she turned to extended family. Suddenly, I was getting messages from relatives that I hadn't spoken to in years, telling me I was a disgrace, and that family is family no matter what. One aunt even said, "You'll regret this when she's gone." But the real kicker? I found out from my dad that she's been telling people that she was forced to leave when I was a kid, painting herself as the victim in all of this. She claimed that my dad turned me against her, and that she always wanted to be in my life, but that I never let her. That was the moment that I knew I made the right decision. I sent her one final message. "You abandoned me. You don't get to come back now and demand my love and care like nothing happened. I owe you nothing." And then I blocked her. I don't feel bad. If anything, I feel lighter. I feel free. I feel happy. OP signing off. In the comments, Peter says, "This is the best outcome of this situation. May OP have a smooth future, and the mother be punished and disgraced for the rest of her life. All kids deserve a good mother." The people who think the OP is heartless are welcome to take the mother in and look after her themselves. I would have laughed and cut her off when she asked. I wouldn't have even written a post about it. Narcissists don't really deserve any emotion or explanation. Good parents don't have to call and beg and guilt trip and manipulate their children for help. Also, good parents never would. I've gotten compliments from relatives for how attentive I was in helping my disabled father when he was alive. It wasn't some noble sacrifice on my part. I was just showing him the same love and care that he gave me growing up. We visited my father-in-law every day while he was recovering from a stroke. He's a good man. He was never without family and friends coming to wish him well. Nobody had to be browbeaten into it, because we all loved him and wanted to spend time with him. Yeah, OP's mother just sounded like an incredibly broken woman who abandoned her to find herself, but instead of finding herself, just continued to repeat those same mistakes that she made in the past because, look, all the other kids that she had abandoned her as well. Crazy, huh? She was probably insufferable towards everyone there, like her husband and the children. Why would anyone want to take care of her? Like, she doesn't deserve it, and it's unfortunate. But these things happen when you're a bad person towards everyone around you. Thank you for standing up for yourself, OP, and showing us what you should do in situations like that. I wish nothing but the best for you going forward. Thank you for your story. Our next post is by user Palette of Emotions, titled, "Am I the asshole for exposing an influencer to her family after she demanded a free painting and $200 on top of that, threatening to tell her followers not to buy from me if I refused? My mum's goddaughter, let's call her Jen, 29 female, asked me, 25 female, to do a painting for her because she saw that I did one for a mutual friend. Let's call her Anna. Jen wanted the painting as a gift for her father, who is a retired photographer. But here's the thing. Anna paid me for the painting and everything went smoothly. She posted a picture of the painting with her mum as she was gifting it to her. Well, Jen saw that painting and became interested in one for her father. The problem is, she wanted me to do it for free. She said she would advertise it on her Instagram and tell her fans to buy from me in exchange for the painting. I told her no, as I'm not in a great financial spot right now, and I cannot afford to do something for free. She wanted a custom-sized canvas, which is not commonly found in stores. I would either have had to have made it myself or try to find it online for a reasonable price. I explained this to her, but she still didn't understand. She said that I already had the materials on hand and that she didn't think that art materials were that expensive. She accused me of being greedy and not having a vision for business, claiming that her exposure would be more valuable than my art. She also said that she wanted me to pay her $200 on top of the free painting, arguing that with her help, I would make so much money and companies pay her to review things. She pointed out that every creative artist or individual, including her father, did free work at the beginning. Everything went downhill when she noticed that I wasn't replying, as I was working, and she started talking down on me because I was let go from the military, for medical reasons beyond my control. She said I had failed at everything, including that, and that she was giving me the option to succeed and make my parents proud. Since I wasn't replying, she called my mum to complain that I didn't want to do a free painting for her. As I mentioned, she's my mum's goddaughter, and my mum seems to have a preference for her. Mum called me back and demanded I do the painting for free. I became enraged. Jen's words about my parents not being proud of me stuck in my head. So I decided to draw a 2-second sketch and told her that that was her free painting and to leave me alone. She became really angry and threatened to post on her socials, telling her followers not to buy from me and to ruin my art career. I've received a few phone calls from my mum, which I haven't answered, and some hate messages from what I assume are her followers. Am I the asshole here for exposing her texts to her family, including the internet? And then she follows up with just that, the receipts. So let's go through the play-by-play. Hi girlie, how are you? Oh my god, I saw the painting you did for Blank's mum, and it's so cute. I want one for my dad. Same thing, the childhood house, and him teaching me how to ride a bike. I would like it a bit bigger though. I'm thinking a 17 by 28, so you have enough space for the house and everything. OP. Hi there, I'm good. I'd love to do a painting for you. I had so much fun painting that for her. Just FYI, a 17 by 28 would be more expensive since it's a custom size. What do you mean? Well, most art stores don't carry that size, meaning that I'd have to have it stretched on my own or have someone custom make that size for me. But I mean, it shouldn't be that bad. I've seen canvas and paint for like $5 at Walmart. OP says, yeah, but I'm just saying the cost will increase for you. Give me a second and I'll calculate the total and provide an estimate for the down payment. They say, well, about that, I was thinking that we could work out a great deal for you. I think the one who's going to pay me at the end is you. You know my dad's a well-known photographer and knows everyone in Highland Park, literally. He's going to tell everyone about your paintings. And I'll post it on my Instagram. I have a lot of followers too that do what I say. So honestly, I think with all that exposure, a normal person would pay $900. But since you're doing the painting, I'll charge you $200 plus the painting. OP says, what, lol? I'm sorry, but I can't afford to do a painting for free at the moment, let alone pay you to post it on Instagram. They say, you aren't really business-minded, are you? You just need to do one painting, which will cost you next to nothing, and with my help, you'll be making thousands. OP says, that's not true. The canvas itself will be like $180 around, plus gesso and paint, plus my time. And they say, you know, Dad started his photography business doing free photo shoots, and see where he is now. You are no one. You gotta do it for free to be known. I know you're reading my messages. I know you want to prove yourself more now that not even the military wants you, lol. Man, that must have been a huge hit for you and your parents. OP says, I was discharged due to medical reasons, but it was an honorable discharge. Some things are beyond your control, and epilepsy is one of them. And they say, yeah, but you failed at everything. You didn't hear it from me, but your mum told me that she was disappointed in you. You have failed at everything, and I'm here trying to help you. Make her proud, won't you? Have a win at least once. Oh, sorry, maybe I shouldn't say anything mean. You might get one of your seizures, Cupcake. Whoa, Jesus. I'm gonna dishonorably rip your head off for that one. Screw you. You aren't really cut out to be an entrepreneur, are you? You aren't going to advance in life like that. OP says, seriously? You called my mum to complain that I wasn't doing your piece for free? What the hell? I'm an adult and she doesn't support me or buy any of my art materials. Here is the best that I can do for free. Leave me alone now. Hell yeah, nice little 2-second sketch. Love that, OP. They say, lol, you're so funny. So funny that I'm about to tell all of my followers on TikTok and Instagram about your treatment. You're a joke of an artist. The only people that buy from you are friends because they feel pity for you. Now no one is going to buy from you. You're so dumb, you just screwed yourself big time. I'll make sure that no one ever buys from you, and then you'll come crawling back asking for my help, but then guess what? I'll say no, because F you. Have fun talking to some of my devoted followers. And you know what? I'm sure I can make the painting myself. You're a ripoff for wanting to charge for bullshit that anyone can do, loser. I'm sure now your mum is going to be even more proud of you. And OP says, I'm not reading all that. Bye. Hell yeah. Sorry that it happened, or happy for you. I'm not reading all that. In the comments, someone asks, can OP make their own canvases? And OP says, I'm sure it's not when you have the space and all the materials to make it. I would need to buy a canvas roll, seesaw, and wood. Something I don't have, and don't have the space to do at my home. So yes, it would be very expensive for me. But I do agree, once you have all of that stuff, it's a lot cheaper. The more influencers who get exposed for the cons they are, the better. Expose away. Not the asshole. Yes, expose her. That is extortion. OP should also show her mum, then ask if she is paying for the canvas, any supplies needed, and the $200 fee to be promoted, which guarantees 0 commissions. Flat out no. I don't work for free. Yeah, nah, it is extortion, and we should not be working for free, especially in this economy. What is going on? Just because companies and brands are willing to pay her money for promotion doesn't mean that automatically anyone in your life needs to pay you for promotion and bullshit like that. It's not realistic, and I don't understand how people continue to operate that way. Definitely take a page out of the comments books and do what they're suggesting. It's not only funny, but it's the right thing to do. Like, expose her to her family. And now, onto the update, 5 days later. Hi everyone, I just wanted to give a quick update. I did tell her dad about it, and we had a brief talk, and he told me she's been acting out due to problems in her relationship. I'm not sure if that's true. He also mentioned that she's been battling alcohol and substance abuse, which has made her more prone to picking fights. She has had recurrent issues, with family and friends complaining to him about it. He said that it was his fault for always giving her what she wanted and for raising her spoiled. Either way, he assured me that he was going to talk to her and ask her never to contact me again. He also asked me not to tell her boyfriend about it, as they're on the brink of separation. Her attitude towards others is one of the reasons that they are having problems. Her dad's a sweetheart, and he's currently going through dialysis. I told him it's fine as long as she never contacts me or my family again. As for my mother, I've never gotten along with her, so I've blocked her for now. I'm not sure if it'll be forever, but I'm trying to find peace. For those who asked me to expose her publicly, I'm not going to do that. That was never my plan. I never said I would, I only said I would expose her to her family. I appreciate all the support I've received and those who have reached out to check on me. Y'all are great. I would appreciate it if you guys didn't DM me asking for usernames or if you're a news reporter. I really don't care. I'm not here to get clout, as some say. I just wanted to know if I'd be in the wrong, and I got my verdict. This might not be the update that y'all were wanting, but that's the only one that I have for now. And in the comments, wow, she needs a new paintbrush for her life. Maybe one that paints better choices? Glad her dad is stepping in. Let's hope he can help her color inside the lines from now on. This is why I don't do the whole influencer thing. We never really know who they are, and most of the time, people choose the road where they get things right and move on, so I know there's a lot of stuff that we never hear about, so I can't, at all, support anyone under those conditions. Yeah, it wouldn't look good at this point if you tried to publicly shame her. Not that you were planning to, so she's really someone to be pitied and then ignored. Kicking her while she's down, even if it was justified, just makes you look bad. Taking the high road is the way to go here, as long as she doesn't escalate. As we all expected, she was spoiled, so at least her dad acknowledges that. But also, too little too late. Now we know what she wanted that $200 for. As for your mother, man, that sucks. How is that girl's dad kinder to you than your own mother? Best mute that noise. I have a primo birther myself, been no contact for several years, and it's been so nice. I would feel like it's my duty to tell her boyfriend after specifically being warned not to. Please don't tell her boyfriend she's treating you like garbage. He's been thinking about breaking up with her due to her treatment of others. Like, how can you hear that and not immediately go, I'm sorry, but it sounds like he needs to know about this? Well, because the dad is still spoiling and enabling her bad behavior by cleaning up her messes. I think it's less cleaning up and more he doesn't want to deal with her tantrum. OP's issue is an easy fix. Distract daughter with the next shiny thing, but losing a boyfriend? Dad's gonna hear about that. But hey, that's what happens when you don't teach emotional regulation. Well, not even a tantrum, but I'm pretty sure she would end up spiraling, like a full-blown, all-hands-on-deck, 5-alarm spiral of bad decisions, horrible behavior, and a desperate and constant need for any attention, good or bad. Likely more bad than good. Honestly, OP is so much more gracious than I could ever be in a situation like this. Like, Jen is such a piece of shit grifter. Who cares how she reacts? But at the same time, the dad is on dialysis, and we really don't want to be stressing him anymore because he is quote-unquote innocent in this situation, even though he is still kowtowing to her and enabling her shitty behavior. I really just don't know what to think, but the dad saying don't tell the boyfriend because the boyfriend's gonna break up with her, like, that I will not be listening to. I don't care if you're on dialysis. What the hell? Like, no, the boyfriend needs to know about this at a minimum. Me personally, I'm exposing her regardless of what you're saying, brother. If she's got this much energy for me that she's gonna drag my name around her entire audience and all of my family, she's lost all charitability. There is no good grace anymore. It's like saying, oh, I'm sorry that he shot you in the chest, but he's actually a good person and you shouldn't report this to the police. Just let it go. Like, no, it's not happening. Thank you for the story, OP. I wish you nothing but the best going forward. Our next post is by user NoConsequence4154, and it's titled, Ex-husband's new girlfriend wants family to cut all contact with me. So I'm divorced. I will freely admit that I'm most at fault for the divorce. I never should have been married, but hindsight is 20/20, as they say. My own family is a shit show and a half. I've known my ex's family for the majority of my life. When we split up, some of his family has kept in contact with me, including his mum and one of his sisters. It's nothing crazy, but we grab a drink from time to time, and his mum just checks in to see how I'm doing. Knowing how my family is, she worries about me, even though I tell her not to. We split a few years ago, and the divorce was final more than a year and a half ago. Despite me being the asshole in my marriage, my ex doesn't have any crazy bitterness, and we have a decent relationship now. In the years since we split, he's never had an issue with his family staying in contact with me. I know for sure because I've asked. Enter new girlfriend. They've been together for 6 months or so. She's 27 and he's sneaking up on 40. Not that big of a deal, but she's not a fan of the fact that he's been married before. Actually, I'm the second ex-wife. How many red flags can we fit into one paragraph? As they've gotten more serious, she's taken extreme exception to the fact that his mum and sister in particular still keep in contact with me. I'm petty, and I laughed my ass off the first time she came at me about it all. Privately, I talked with his mum and sister though, and I told them that I totally understand if they need to cut contact to keep the peace. They assured me that they do what they want to do, and not what the girlfriend of a hot minute demands. Since I'm still in contact with them, she's taken the mature approach of posting all of my misdeeds on social media, some of which have impacts on people that don't deserve it. Well, maybe deserve it a little, but in any case, it's rocking a lot of boats. 3 weeks ago, I was out with friends at a bar. New girlfriend was there with the ex. She was livid and demanded that I leave immediately. I gave the appropriate response and laughed, turned around, and continued my conversation. She proceeded to hit me from behind and smashed my head into the bar top. I lost consciousness for a few, and when I came to, she was being pulled away and cops were being called. I declined charges at the time, but was told that if I change my mind, to contact them. So, since she's being petty and posting everything about me, I'm thinking maybe those charges sound a whole lot better. My ex is begging me not to, saying that he will rein her in and get her to stop, but man, I want to pull the trigger now and just do it. As I've admitted, I'm not the good guy in this story. But am I the asshole if I do file charges against this girl? In the comments, press charges for sure. Facebook won't do much, but you can print them out to show a pattern of aggression with her. It'll reinforce the assault charge and might get you a restraining order against her. And OP replies, even if what she's posting is the truth? She's not posting lies, but all the same, it's things from years ago and causing a lot of undue stress for people, including me. Another commenter replies, your ex-husband here is kinda hilarious. I'm imagining he's standing in front of you, with you having the biggest black eye from getting your face smashed into the table by her, and having the audacity to basically say, I can fix her. If you see my ex with a black eye, mind your business. My current girlfriend loves me. OP replies, this makes me smile because it is kinda like him. Imagine a hot, massive 6'4" former football player with the softest heart ever. He sees the best in everyone to his own detriment. He's really a great guy and deserves so much better. I don't know this girl's story, but it's a safe bet that he thinks he can fix her too. Another commenter says, husband has really not upgraded his game. He really needs therapy to stop with the toxic women. OP says, lol, I'm pretty sure I told him this exact thing after the incident. When asked why didn't OP press charges, OP says, to be fair, it's not for her. I have guilt about what I did to my ex. I was definitely the arsehole to him, so I didn't press charges for him. But things have started to go off the rails since, so it wasn't for her. It was for my ex. He's ultimately a good guy that always wants to fix people that are in some way broken, hence our doomed marriage. He knew going into it that I had issues, but he cared and wanted to give it a shot. I don't know much of anything about this girl because, frankly, I didn't feel like it concerned me. But maybe he felt that she was his next one to fix, and it's not going so well. OP on the relationship with her ex-mother-in-law. My ex-mother-in-law is one of the best humans. She's long been the mother that I always wished I had. Even when I was the asshole, she called me on it, but still cared. I've told her and my ex that I understand and will bow out at any time, but she's still there for me. OP clarifies on being involved with her ex's family. I'm honestly not involved in my ex's life. My relationship with his sister predates our relationship, and his mum only checks in on my life and fills me in with her friend gossip. And my ex is fine with this. We were friends long before our romantic relationship, and while we aren't friends, so to speak, anymore, there isn't any animosity. Did OP know the girlfriend, and if she's apologetic? OP says, I honestly know next to nothing about this girl. While my ex moved past all our issues and we're good now, I don't feel the need to find out all the details on his new woman. She was apparently highly intoxicated, and he claims that it's highly out of character for her to be physically violent, but the pettiness now is just too much. Did OP have any kids with her ex-husband? We have no kids, but he has one with his first wife. They don't live nearby anymore, so her ire has been directed at me. First wife and I are very good friends, if you can believe that. How did the girlfriend know about OP's past with the ex? OP says, part of some therapy I was in. I had a journal where I wrote about things. I stupidly forgot about it when I moved, and it was his things. She found it. She found therapy journals that I forgot about and left behind. She's posting things from those. At this point, short of you murdering someone, I don't see how you're the asshole here. You being the asshole in your marriage does not mean that you should excuse her behavior and let her get away with this. And yes, your ex didn't do anything wrong here from your point of view, and that you're doing this for him, but that's not good. That's not healthy. This is not a healthy way of dealing with the absolute shit show that he has strapped himself to. She physically assaulted you, and his response was to be like, man, that really sucks, but can you not give her consequences for her actions? Because, I'm gonna fix her. I'm sorry that I didn't do anything to stop this from happening, but I'm gonna fix her. And then she goes ahead and starts posting all of your therapy journal stuff online. People get murdered for less. People get murdered for much less is all I'm saying, OP. How this woman has not ended up the victim of a true crime documentary at this point is beyond me. You are beating yourself up too much for your past wrongs in that marriage. You are extending far too much charity to this man and his favorite little basket of assholes. I think at a minimum, you need to get that journal back and you need to press charges. Something needs to happen here, please. And now, onto the update, posted the next day. First, thanks everyone for the feedback. I tried to read as much as I could, and really appreciate some of the insights. So today, I learned that my ex actually did split with a girlfriend this past weekend. After reading many of the comments, I decided I was going to go ahead with the charges. I gave my ex-mother-in-law a call just to let her know, and so she could let my ex know so he had a heads up. I don't know or want to know the details of the breakup, but he ended it and told his mum that he understands if I wanted to press charges and that he should never have asked me not to in the moment. I spoke with the officer today, and that is done. Likely little will happen to her, but at least there are consequences. I had a lot of people asking why we divorced in the comments and DMs. Without getting too far into it, I've always been someone that didn't believe in monogamy or believed that it was something that I was capable of. My ex was aware of this going into our relationship and was on board for many years on our own definition of our marriage and relationship. Over the years, I could tell that it weighed on him, so I tried to change, believe in the things that he did, but ultimately it just didn't work. I ended the marriage in large part because he wanted more kids and I did not. I wasn't an angel, and the end was a little bit messy, but we came to a good place. Thanks again for the messages, and even for some of the funny, terrible ones. Those made me laugh more than they should have. In the comments, very happy to hear that you're pressing charges. People like that depend on folks not wanting to deal with it, so never suffer consequences. When finally someone, you in this case, is brave enough or mad enough to involve police, the offender has no record and gets a lighter penalty. Thanks to you, if she does it again, things will start to get a little sticky for her. Good for you, and good for you and your ex being able to get on good terms. Another commenter says, so glad to hear that you're pressing charges. Also, no one's business why you and ex broke up. Wasn't relevant to the story, and it sounds like you hold a lot of shame and guilt over it. You two just weren't compatible. Get yourself into therapy to deal with your feelings about it. You shouldn't live the rest of your life beating yourself up over what happened between you two. Dial M for murder says, quote, he claims it's highly out of character for her to be physically violent. Nah, you just hadn't seen it yet, mate. No one smashes a person's head against a bar as their first ever violent incident. This, and they'd only been in a relationship 6 months. Not enough time to truly know someone. It was the honeymoon period. She probably had a very sweet mask because everyone puts their best foot forward when you first start dating. I have no doubt that she was inclined to lashing out violently. Like you said, your first time being violent isn't going to be smashing someone's head into a bar, especially when that person hasn't done anything physically to you first. This is making me ask myself, how long or well would I have to know someone before confidently saying that violence is out of character for them? Because it's definitely more than 6 months. I've been surprised by someone after knowing them for years. Some people can mask well, and others can just snap, even if it was previously out of character for them, but being out of character doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be dealt with when it does happen. Yeah, if it's out of character, don't ignore it. Get them a scan for brain tumors, reevaluate their medications, get some intensive therapy, and do some serious reflection. Something to figure out where it's coming from. Because if it's truly random with no known cause, then you can't guarantee that it won't happen again, and it's ridiculous to let that kind of outburst threaten every interaction. Sometimes I want to know more about the people involved in these posts, but then I remember how many episodes of Jerry Springer I watched growing up, and realize I've probably seen it already. Holy shit, she should have pressed charges immediately. She lost consciousness. We call it a king hit here in Australia, and people have died from it. Yeah, we've had so many incidents of people just instantly dying from king hits. You get hit in the back of the head, you hit the concrete, and it's just game over. There was a really famous one here from when I graduated high school. Like not long after, someone got king hit and died. My age, my area, really sucked. Even if he were to survive that, I would be shocked to hear that he was not pressing charges for assault. That's why I'm shocked that OP didn't do that here. That's like incredible to me. Then there's so much missing information in this update. Like, I really want to know if she got those journals back or not. Why did you have to go in about the ending of your relationship and not like the important details here, OP? Regardless, I hope everything goes well for you. Please come back with an update in the future telling us that everything's okay, because right now I am very concerned. But thank you for the story. And that's all I have time for today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.